Hello anime lovers, welcome back to WoW Senpai. If you love isekai anime, reincarnation, overpowered main characters, fantasy worlds, and epic returns, you're in the right place. 2026 is shaping up to be huge, with some of the most popular isekai anime making their long-awaited comebacks. So grab your snacks, get comfy, and let's count down the top 10 returning isekai anime releasing in 2026. Starting off the list at number 10, we have Skeleton Knight in Another World Season 2. Season 1 was simple. Ark gets isekai'd into his overpowered game character, realizes he's a skeleton, hides it with armor, and travels the world helping people while casually destroying anyone who stands in his way. But Season 2 is where things really change. Ark is no longer just a wandering adventurer. His involvement with the elves gradually pulls him into large-scale conflicts, including battles against powerful nations and secret groups working behind the scenes. We'll see Ark face enemies who actually understand his strength and begin targeting him deliberately, forcing him to fight smarter, not just harder. There's also a stronger focus on dark fantasy elements like slavery networks, political corruption, and brutal warfare. Season 2 pushes the story from casual adventure into full-scale fantasy conflict, making this one of the most intense returns on the list. At number 9, we have Tsukimichi, Moonlit Fantasy Season 3. Back in Season 1, Makoto was summoned to another world as a so-called hero, only to be rejected by the goddess for being ugly. Instead of saving the world, he was thrown to the edge of civilization, where he slowly discovered just how insanely strong he actually was. By Season 2, Makoto stopped running from the world and started building his own place in it. He gathered powerful allies like Tomo and Mio, formed his own territory, and made it clear that he doesn't need the goddess or her system to survive. Now Season 3 is where things escalate fast. Makoto's growing influence begins to shake the balance between humans, demons, and gods. His territory isn't just a safe haven anymore. It's becoming a political threat, and powerful factions are starting to move against him. Season 3 pushes Tsukimichi from a fun power fantasy into full-scale world conflict, and that's what makes this return so exciting. Sliding into number 8, we got I Parry Everything Season 2. Season 1 was straightforward. Noor trained his entire life thinking he was weak, mastering only one basic skill, parry. The problem is, his parry is so absurdly strong that he ends up blocking legendary weapons, monsters, and even attacks meant to wipe out armies, without realizing how insane that actually is. By the end of Season 1, Noor unintentionally becomes involved in serious threats facing the kingdom, all while believing he's still just an average guy who hasn't even qualified as a real adventurer. Season 2 pushes this joke much further. Noor starts getting dragged into large-scale conflicts, including political tensions and battles that decide the fate of entire regions. Enemies grow smarter, attacks grow deadlier, and yet Noor keeps casually parrying everything like it's nothing. The fun part is that the world slowly begins to fear him, while Noor himself remains completely clueless. Coming in at number 7 is Gate 2, Tides of Conflict. In Season 1, a mysterious portal opened in Tokyo, unleashing monsters and armies from a fantasy world. The army stopped the invasion and soon discovered an entire new world on the other side, marking Japan's first step into something far bigger. Now, Season 2, Tides of Conflict, digs way deeper into the seaside of that world. The story shifts from land battles to naval operations, with the Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force cruising into the special region. We'll see big-scale ship battles, explorations of uncharted waters, and diplomatic tension between new factions who aren't sure whether humans from Earth are friends or threats. Expect modern warships versus fantasy monsters, strategic maneuvering, and new characters that push the plot into bigger conflict. Gate Season 2 stands as one of the most awaited anime of the year. At number 6, we have Demon School Iruma-kun Season 4. In the earlier seasons, we followed Iruma, a normal human kid who gets sold to a demon and ends up attending a demon school. Instead of panicking, Iruma adapts to demon school life, makes friends, and survives dangerous classes and rivals while hiding that he's human. Now in Season 4, the focus shifts to something new. The story moves into a major school event known as the Music Festival, where teamwork and performance matter more than raw power. The abnormal class must work together to shine on stage and prove their growth to the entire demon school. This season also puts the spotlight on characters who stayed in the background before, especially Soi, finally giving him a chance to stand out. Expect lots of comedy, fun performances, emotional moments, and that classic Iruma charm that makes the series so easy to love. Coming in at number 5 is The World's Finest Assassin Season 2. Season 1 was simple. A master assassin is betrayed, reincarnated into a noble family, and given a mission by a goddess to someday eliminate the hero to save the world. Instead of charging in, Lug plans carefully, trains in secret, and builds influence while staying under the radar. Season 2 is where the real danger begins. Lug's operations start affecting entire kingdoms, pulling him into political power struggles and high-risk missions. Enemies aren't just random targets anymore. They're intelligent, organized, and actively hunting threats like him. We'll see more mind games, smarter assassinations, and moments where one wrong move could expose his true identity. At the same time, Lug begins questioning his mission as his bonds with allies grow stronger. Season 2 shifts from setup to consequences, blending strategy, action, and moral conflict. Sliding into number 4, we got Reincarnated as a Sword Season 2. Season 1 introduced us to a man reincarnated as a magical sword, later known as Teacher. He teams up with Fran, a young beast girl slave, and together they break free from her past and start traveling as adventurers. Now in Season 2, the journey expands. Fran and Teacher move beyond simple dungeon crawling and step into bigger conflicts involving stronger races, dangerous regions, and enemies who won't go down easily. The focus shifts more toward Fran's growth, her desire to become stronger, her connection to her people, and what it really means for her to stand on her own. We can expect tougher battles, new lands to explore, and moments that test their bond more than ever. Season 2 raises both the emotional stakes and the action, making this less about surviving and more about carving a path forward together. At number 3, we have Ascendance of a Bookworm Season 4. In the earlier seasons, we followed Mine, a book-loving girl who's reborn into a medieval world where books are rare and expensive. Despite being physically weak, she uses her knowledge to slowly change her world, inventing paper, printing, and spreading literacy step by step. Now in Season 4, the story enters a much heavier phase. Rosamine is officially pulled into high noble society as the adopted daughter of an archduke. She must learn strict etiquette, control her overwhelming mana, and survive a political world where even small mistakes can have serious consequences. At the same time, her dream hasn't changed. She still wants to make books available to everyone. Season 4 focuses less on invention and more on power, responsibility, and survival, showing how far she's come and how much she has to sacrifice. Coming in at number 2, That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime Season 4. In the past seasons, we followed an ordinary man reborn as a slime named Rimuru. What started as simple survival quickly turned into nation-building, as Rimuru gathered monsters, formed alliances, and created the monster nation of Tempest. Now, in Season 4, the story moves to a much larger scale. Tempest is no longer just a growing nation, it's a global power. Other kingdoms and demon lords are watching Rimuru closely, and not everyone is happy with how fast he's rising. This season focuses heavily on politics, diplomacy, and looming war, as Rimuru is forced to make decisions that affect entire countries, not just his friends. New threats emerge, old alliances are tested, and the balance of power in the world starts to shift. Expect less wandering adventure and more high-stakes strategy, massive conflicts, and moments that show just how dangerous Rimuru has become, not just as a fighter, but as a ruler. Topping our list at number 1, it's The Remonster Season 2. Season 1 followed a man reincarnated as a goblin named Gobru. Instead of struggling to survive, he quickly starts evolving by eating enemies and gaining their abilities. Now in Season 2, the story shifts to a much larger scale. Gobru isn't just fighting to survive anymore, he's built an entire force around him. His power and influence start drawing attention from stronger monster races, rival leaders, and kingdoms that see him as a serious threat. This season dives deeper into war, leadership, and the cost of endless evolution. Battles get more violent, enemies get smarter, and Gobru is pushed into situations where raw power alone may not be enough. Season 2 keeps the same dark tone but raises the stakes, focusing on domination, strategy, and consequences. And that wraps up today's Isekai anime list. Let us know in the comments which Isekai anime is your favorite, or if there's one we missed that deserves a spot on the list. And tell us in the comments what you'd like us to recommend next. Subscribe to WoW Senpai for more anime recommendations, and we'll see you in the next video.